Roblox horror game was doomed to fail from the start. Going from 8,000 players on its first day to not even 300 players on that same day, it begs the question, what even happened to Alone to make it have this bad of a release? You see, the game Alone looks similar to Doors. Because of Doors' popularity, this game started developing in 2022, right after Doors became popular as a way to imitate its success. The trailer from the very beginning looks bland and copied, causing the game a lot of flack from just day one. The game's logos, the game's art style, and everything was copied to be similar to Doors to attract its player base. This was their first mistake that stained the game's reputation from the very beginning. This also meant that some players were expecting a Doors-type game just by the aesthetics and style of the game. These developers promised something great, something that will blow the horror genre out of the water, and you'll see later that this isn't exactly what we got. Alone likely has some internal problems that made the release date 7 months. Each time, they were promising more and more content, and the trailers were looking better and better, until yesterday, the 23rd, when the game ended up releasing to an audience of 8,000 people. It first started off with a couple problems like a bug needing to be fixed, and then the game released. This was the big moment we've been waiting for over 7 months, and it ends up being an essential demo of 12 minutes. It was entirely embarrassing for the team, who alerted to one thing and eventually we got another. And they even said Creekcraft couldn't beat it. Creekcraft beat it in under 30 minutes.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. The game, hopefully I didn't break the game. I'm so lost.
The team was so embarrassed, and then players started to play it. Players found tons of bugs, tons of unfinished work that made the game practically unplayable. With the team embarrassed enough, there needs to be a lot of work done. And then the Discord server went amok, and they're trying to get everything under control, but it's not working. Because Alone promised something that it couldn't actually keep, even the Doors developers criticized the game silently but kinda like a backstab. But all of these were minimal problems compared to what Alone's biggest problem was. It was simply made for money. It was made to be a copy, and that's what caused all of this mess to happen in the first place. After playing the Roblox game Alone, I have come to the conclusion that it shouldn't have been released at all. The game is extremely short and lacks any meaningful value. I found it disappointing that I could complete the game within the duration of a Walmart lunch break. Despite this, I must admit that I enjoyed the storyline and where it was going, despite the fact that the phone in the game gave me tinnitus. However, the sound design was terrible, and the monsters in the game that were supposed to be interesting concept fell flat due to the numerous bugs and glitches. Moreover, the game's promotional material suggested that it was impossible to beat, yet we were almost able to complete it almost immediately after its release. The visuals were great, but the gameplay was lackluster due to the fact that the game was so short and felt rushed. There were almost no instructions, which made it challenging to figure out what was going on. I must commend the developers for their ambitious concept, but the game was so short that it should have not even been called a game. The worst things about Alone is that there was too much demo, the game alluded to things that it did not reveal, the storyline had minimal impact on the game, and the sound design made it difficult to follow. It also felt as the game had not been properly tested by experienced QA. Despite its potential, the game fell flat on its face for internal reasons. It was not adequately planned, and as a result, it felt unfinished, rust, and bland. The fact that Part 2 was lost behind a light goal, and the reveal was underwhelming was just disappointing. Overall, I believe that Alone is a game that should have never been released in its current state.